The city has released its first draft of the 2024 budget, which includes another sizable tax hike. Good evening and thank you for joining us. Thunder Bay's proposed 2024 budget has been released by officials at City Hall.
It recommends a 6.1% tax levy hike or 5.5% after growth. That's about 1 percentage point higher than the tax increase approved by City Council last year. Budget season has begun.
Grappling with inflation and achieving council's mandate. Those are a lot of balls to juggle in the air.
On Friday, the City of Thunder Bay released its proposed 2024 budget. It recommends a tax levy hike of 6.1% before growth and 5.5% after. To support this year's budget, city staff are recommending the tax levy to be over $231 million. That's $13.3 million more than what was approved last year. To reach the 6.1% increase, administration did have to find cost savings, though none involved cutting programs or services. City Treasurer Carrie Greaves couldn't provide specifics on how that number was lowered, but says various city departments played a role by finding more efficient practices.
Collaboration with the rest of their teams to find areas of improvement, and they came back to the budget group as a whole and presented those savings. So the actual details of how those came about, I don't have.
One of the largest contributors to the tax hike is the request from the Thunder Bay Police Service. Factors like equipment maintenance and an increase in personnel sees the force asking for $2.3 million more than in 2023.
Emergency services are putting pressure on other areas of the budget.
The police service is asking for 4.5% more than last year, though City Manager Norm Gale says other emergency services aren't seeing the same significant jump.
Thunder Bay Fire and Rescue is coming in at 0.2%, and Superior North EMS is coming in at 0.6%. Previously, absolutely, all three services were contributing to above higher increases than other services in the city, but that is changing now.
The public will have a chance to learn more about the proposed budget on Thursday evening during an information session at the Victoria Inn. There will then be 4 deliberation meetings where council can make changes to the budget, which is then set to be ratified on February 12th. 8 months after a tragic collision claimed the life of a 10-year-old Thunder Bay boy, City Police confirmed today that charges were laid against the school bus driver involved in the incident. The fatal collision between the bus and the boy on his bicycle occurred on May 23rd of last year at the corner of Clarkson Street and Red River Road. The victim was later identified as Riker McKelvey, a grade 5 student at CD House School. After a lengthy investigation by the police traffic unit, the male driver of the school bus was charged with careless driving causing death. The driver had his first court appearance in October. Police acknowledge the information is being released several months after the charges were laid, and it was done so after consultation with the family of the victim. No names or further details will be released regarding the incident.
Thunder Bay police officers were at Westgate High School late this afternoon due to a potential risk. There was no impact on students as the police presence occurred right at the time of dismissal. The Lakehead Board says police were called in out of an abundance of caution, and they'll work together to ensure the school is safe. A weekend basketball tournament has been moved from Westgate to Ecole Elsie McGill Public School, and any community use of the school was canceled for this evening.
Federal NDP leader Jugmeet Singh says action needs to take place now to support the hundreds of workers affected by the Terrace Bay pulp mill's indefinite idling.
Singh met virtually with town and union officials today and says the first priority for Ottawa is to provide financial support. Just Clement has the details.
New Democratic Party leader Jugmeet Singh says he fully supports those who have been affected by the sudden shutdown of the Terrace Bay Mill earlier this month, which resulted in close to 400 workers being laid off. Singh spent time on Friday to speak online with those who have been affected and says his first priority will be helping get them financial support.
People need to pay their bills, so that's why we want to find a way to give them some financial support. That's EI, and making sure it's flexible enough to respond to their needs. In general, it's been a long question we've had that EI doesn't seem like it's always the right fit for people who've lost their job or been laid off. It doesn't always work. So we want to make sure that EI is there for people like these workers when they need it.
The NDP's second priority is helping keep the jobs in the long term. Singh says the mill's idling doesn't just impact the hundreds of workers, it also has an overall economic impact.
Losing a mill could be devastating for the entire surrounding area. There's so many connected industries and services that rely on the good jobs that are at the mill to continue to be able to exist. And without the mill, we're going to see a big impact on the economy, loss of other services and other jobs. And so it is really a trickle effect. Like it's huge.
He adds that now he's hoping to use the leverage they have in Parliament in order to get the Trudeau government to act.
Justin Trudeau and the Liberals have to be there for workers. Often they're out of touch and they don't really connect when people are struggling. So we'll make sure that they know that the workers here need support, need someone on their side. That's us, and we're going to push the government to do the same.
Jessica Clement, TBT News.
Traffic was disrupted on the Thunder Bay Expressway this morning after a multi-vehicle pileup forced the OPP to shut down a section of the busy route. The crash occurred around 8:45 a.m. on Highway 61 just north of Arthur Street at the Neebing River Bridge. Police and other first responders attended the scene, and fortunately, no serious injuries were reported. OPP say there were 4 vehicles involved, which appeared to be a car, an SUV, and 2 pickup trucks. The highway was completely closed between Arthur and the Harbor Expressway. However, the damaged vehicles were removed quickly, and the route was reopened to traffic at around 10 a.m.
Progress continues to be made at the new Thunder Bay Art Gallery, even through the cold winter months.
The concrete foundations are now being poured for the 2-story state-of-the-art building on the waterfront, which is set to open near the end of 2025. Josh Morano reports.
The footprint for the new gallery can now be clearly seen using our TBT drone camera, and everything remains on track for the new Thunder Bay Art Gallery on the waterfront. With the snow and freezing temperatures, the timeline on the project is still set for a grand opening in either late 2025 or early 2026. Executive Director for the gallery, Matthew Hills, says he is grateful for all the work that continues to go in and is excited for what that extra work means for the final product and the city.
We're 18% towards completion. So progress is being made. The footprint of the overall gallery is completed, and we're really excited with how things are progressing, even in spite of the challenging temperatures and the some of the circumstances that make construction at this time of year challenging. But thanks to our team, we're really on pace, so it's a fantastic thing.
The total cost of the project was estimated around $57 million in September, and while Hills was not able to speak on the latest estimates, he says given the size and scale of the gallery that he's confident it will be delivered at a good cost to the community. With that, he adds they're continuing with their fundraising goal of $5 million, which Hills says they are close to reaching to get them over that final hump.
We've had really great success at the capital level from provincial and federal support, and we are looking to our community to fundraise that last little bit to make sure the gallery is up and running. And so we're in the midst of a capital campaign seeking support from the community, which is going really well. We just depend on every member of our community to help and continue to help. We've had incredible support, and we're keeping going on that.
The gallery will continue to be worked on throughout the winter, with hoarding being used while the concrete foundations are being poured in these cold temperatures. Hills says the public should begin to see steel beams and the gallery's superstructure taking shape in about 9 months or so.
I think in late fall, we'll really start to see the overall building start to take shape and its profile on the horizon. Part of what's exciting for the gallery and being at this location is being able to work in closer proximity to tourism infrastructure, to downtown, to Thunder Bay. So we're already doing that. In many ways, you'll start to see the presence of the gallery shift and our profile shift down here.
Josh Morano, TBT News.
Perseverance and resilience were the topics of discussion at Westgate High School yesterday, as Carl Subban gave a motivational speech to grade 9 students.
The former LU basketball player ended up having all 3 sons drafted by the NHL. He spoke to the kids about focusing on their goals and working hard to realize their potential. Jessica Clement has the details.
Carl Subban had some words of encouragement for grade 9 students at Westgate Collegiate on Thursday, emphasizing the importance of loving yourself and focusing on your goals.
But the most important person to inspire you is you.
Subban is a longtime educator, author, public speaker, and father of 5, with all 3 of his sons being drafted in the NHL. He is also no stranger to Thunder Bay and came here to chase a dream of playing in the NBA. However, Subban says that didn't work out.
The beautiful thing about a dream is you might not reach it, but there are branches to it. And I discovered something about myself because of that basketball dream, that I love working with children. So I graduated here from Lakehead University with a teaching degree. And so I've spent my entire life teaching young people and helping them to reach their potential.
Subban spoke about the importance of having a dream and having the drive to pursue it. He used the word focus as an acronym during the presentation, with F standing for future, O for ownership, C for challenge, U for understanding, and S for strength.
So what I did today with the students, I broke the word focus down into each letter. I broke it down and presented it to them in a way that will build them up. If you want to reach your maximum potential, you must be able to focus. You can't be distracted because, you know, when you're distracted, it takes you off your path and you might not reach your destination.
Many students took Subban's words to heart, saying they understand the importance of putting your best effort forward.
It was a very good presentation. It just taught a lot about how, your greatest skill is your potential, and it's very just motivating.
Don't focus how good you are today. Keep working and just focus on your potential. Keep getting better every day.
I think that with sports, I'll think about how much effort that I have to put in and how much commitment I need to make and what I need, not just from me, but from my family and close friends, and what I'm going to have to do to continue to improve.
Jessica Clement, TBT News.
Now, Fiona, we've had a very chilly couple weeks here in Thunder Bay, but today at least it felt a little warmer. The sun was shining this afternoon. I'm kind of hoping, that's what's going to be coming over the next few weeks.
Yeah, it's coming inch by inch, literally inch by inch. This is not a quick warm-up by any stretch of the imagination. Today, we added 2 degrees to our daytime high over yesterday. We topped out with a high of -13 and wind chills of -16. That's after starting the day with wind chills of -36. That was a chilly start and a chilly drive into work for most folks. Hopefully, you didn't have to sit at a bus stop because that would have been nasty. The good part was the winds were very light, at times completely calm, up to 12 kilometers per hour in the afternoon, and a fair amount of sunshine, sometimes partly cloudy, sometimes mostly sunny. At this hour, we've got kind of that warming, very slight warming trend across northwestern Ontario. Now, last night, we had extreme cold warnings for Red Lake, Sioux Lookout down into Armstrong, Greenstone, and along the North Shore. Another bit of good news, that's over. Those have ended, and you can already see the temperatures are inching their way up a little bit at a time. At this hour, Red Lake is at -22. They had ice crystals most of the day, but clear skies, and they did get some really nice sunshine today. Fort Frances also had a lot of sun earlier in the day. Right now, nice clear conditions, -19. Winds also very light throughout, so wind chills not really affecting most of the region, maybe making it feel a couple degrees cooler. Greenstone has had light snow most of the day, and ironically, instead of coming from the west, this was a system a little bit further to the northeast that was building in intensity, and they're just kind of getting the backdraft of that light snow moving through. And Sault Ste. Marie had partly to mostly cloudy skies most of the day. At this hour, nice and clear. They're sitting around -14, as is Wawa. Tonight, Thunder Bay is going to drop down to -20 and wind chills of -27. That's quite seasonal for this time of year, so I'm not going to listen to anybody complaining. We do have about a 30% chance of evening flurries and then partly cloudy skies after that, heading into the weekend. As I said, starting to warm up, so there is definitely seasonal temperatures on the horizon, maybe not Saturday, but things are looking good for Sunday. However, there is still a possibility of snow at times for the second half of the weekend. And those gray skies, they're going to stick around well into next week, but they will also stick around with the seasonal temperatures. And that is good news for those who have been cooped up just a little too long and need to get outside.
Absolutely. I've been feeling that a little bit for sure, Fiona. Well, now taking our attention to international news, we're seeing some disturbing images of Israeli Defense Forces disrupting graves in Gaza. We'll have more on that as your Friday News Hour continues.
Palestinian families are outraged. As evidence has emerged, Israeli Defense Forces desecrated tombs like these in Khan Yunis.